Get ready for game number 1 with our casters. It's Odie Pixel and Quinn.
Prepare to make way.
Who made you captain?
It's pronounced Admiral.
This is a good opportunity to learn.
Lights out for you.
Ребят, будьте добрее. Это всего лишь компьютерная игра.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 time here between PARIVISION and OG, and we're just about to see the action kick off as both teams are about to meet each other down on the bottom lane. And do sort of, they got very close there and decided to back off. Neither team quite happy to get a grab on one another. Natsumi still cutting through the trees, though, seeing if something does go down. I don't know which team. Which team should be more scared of the other here? You know, both are smoking up. You know, who's more looking for action here, Quinn?
Depends a bit on who runs into who. I think in a lot of early games, the team that runs up into the other team gets mollywopped. So if OG's sitting on the hill here and they run, and it could go bad for them. But they do have a Coddle, and that hero's kind of garbage can on runes.
Yeah, looks like OG's gonna just opt to split and try and take on this bounty top as well. Scam and Tim's. They won't be able to do anything about the one on the bottom side of the river.
That's 3 runes.
But indeed, it will be the one up top as well. The OG's able to secure with Nico in position. So that grouping up of PARIVISION doesn't work out. They don't find any action, and they will lose out on the number of bounty runes. So, here we go. Anyway, all in all, Quinn, what are you looking forward to from this game? And whose draft do you like?
I'm looking forward to see Coddle Ember. Haven't seen it in a while. It's you know, the panel said it, and I agree. It's a classic combo. It's very, very powerful. Coddle has been nerfed significantly. He's the solar bind one. He's not this recall mana spam psycho combo that there was some months ago. So back to a more normal state, but still very powerful. If I have to prefer one, I think it's actually pretty close, I think.
Okay.
I think both teams have decent things. I think both teams have decent chances, and it's going to come a lot down to gameplay. Who's in zone today?
Absolutely. Yeah, both of these teams have given us some pretty thrilling performances so far at DreamLeague. Very excited to see them match up against one another down here in the lower bracket.
Bottom lane is going to be a problem for PARIVISION. The heroes are bad at pulling waves, and they are up against a Chen Gyrocopter. That is a fearsome lane. Pretty much no aggressive potential whatsoever. Coddle is just an awful early game hero. So they're going to need to deal with that.
Ultimately, what do you think it was about this game that made PARIVISION want to run with the Coddle? Is it sort of just straight up down to some of the combos and plays they can make when they do group up?
I feel like 9 class just has a wheel of heroes that no one else plays, and he just spins the wheel, and whatever hero it lands on, he's like, yo, we got to pick this, guys. I think it's super good. I don't even think it's just a vibes thing. I mean, Coddle is good against Chen.
Yep.
Coddle is good against Primal. Like, it's good against a lot of these heroes. The big AoE heal against OGs, they've got a lot of run-in magic damage, but it's not super high damage. So if you can get to the point where you can survive through that, you have an Abaddon shield, you have Coddle heals, you can tank through all this damage, and it can be a problem for OG. It's a matter of, can you get there? Because in theory, it's cool, but Coddle as a hero has some problems.
Some of them stay up top. Dakalis also always going to have the answer in lane for this Primal if Nico does start to try and get aggressive onto Satanic. And what do you sort of make of, you know, running the carry Abaddon here again for Satanic? I feel like in a lot of the games that we've seen, it has been, you know, it does have the tendency to sometimes be a little bit underwhelming, the carry Abaddon as of late.
Yeah, I would generally agree with you. I think this is a pretty decent Abaddon game. It's good against Gyrocopter, it's good against Primal Beast, and it's good against the Willow, so I can see why they picked it. But I do feel like this hero just has looked less powerful. It doesn't look when you it's a good Abaddon game. Oh no, it's a good Abaddon game.
Yeah, and then it gets to the point where you can just never kill him, because it feels it's one of those heroes as well that, because teams have experienced so many times playing the matchup, they've become much better at being able to orchestrate the fights around the Abaddon ult and making sure that they do find that sort of timing to weave out and weave back in to punish him after it comes to an end.
Definitely. The people have gotten way better at playing against this hero. It's a hero that having that feel for how easy it is to pop the shield is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, still a bit of aggression here top as Scam Gonna turn up. They come in towards Satanic. They're gonna be able to get him. Lovely little early move there from OG, which will secure them the first blood. And these things definitely hurt. You know, the Abaddon, he wants to kind of chill, survive in this safe lane and hit the creeps, farm his Radiance. If you're able to kill him early, it's gonna start getting rough. We'll see in the mid, no one. Trying to go for Yopaj. Yopaj will still get the Avalanche in the toss-off. So it's going to be fine, Yopaj. No one thinking about maybe going back in with another chains. So has to be careful, especially when the Avalanche is back up in a few seconds. So neither going to find one another in terms of the kills. In terms of the CS, as you can see, Yopaj doing very well here in the mid. 22 and 11 against the 17 and 4. Down on the bottom, as the CS goes, fantastic farm for Natsumi so far. 25 and 4 against the 14 and 4. So already seeing pretty much actually on all three lanes, OG getting the favorable farm in all of their matchups in his first 5 minutes.
Yeah, that is a great sign for them. This Primal Beast hero has looked amazing this tournament. Pretty much every game we've seen doesn't even look like it has counters, really. You know, it's first pick this game, and he's winning his lane, and he's got pretty good game matchups, so they have not really tried to counterpick this hero that much. And Yopaj, I'm also just really impressed by him and his improvement. You think back, you know, to like half a year ago, no one against Yopaj. It didn't even matter what the matchup is, you know how that lane's going to go. But he's holding his own. He's doing very well in a lane where he was counterpicked. So massive kudos to him for improving over these months. I think he's one of the most improved players of the last half year.
Yeah, no, giving us some very solid showings in the mid. And we're absolutely seeing it again here already. This game one. Bottom lane, DM just constantly getting harassed by these homing missiles, and it's just kind of crazy just how much more Natsumi is getting out of this. It doubled the CS on the Gyro as opposed to what the Slardar is able to get out of this matchup down bottom. I mean, is that just down to the nature of the core matchups? Are you looking at the supports? You know, why is there so much struggle here for PARIVISION on this bottom lane? DM is not having a fun time.
Yeah, it's both. Against Gyrocopter, you either need to have enough regen in lane to sustain his spam, or you need to be able to do goes on him or pull waves, and they can't do any.
Solid Brambles here in the mid, and they get the toss back into the extra Brambles. Very nicely played there by Tim's coming over to help out. Carlos will be able to stop the shield rune going into the hands of Yopaj, but little moves like this, I mean, it's early days, but a 2K lead at 6 minutes in, that definitely says something, Quinn.
It does. And we've seen this Coddle support picked a few times this tournament, and it has lost every time. It's looked really weak, and that is because of the lane, right? Chen, he's this big Chad. He's got these creeps. He's going to keep whacking you with the creeps. Coddle, what does he have? He's got like a 40 damage right click and a nuke that you can't hit on anyone because it takes 15 minutes to charge up. Like, he just can't do anything in these early phases of the game. Can't gank. Playing for the stack, so they're going to try to come back a little bit. Just get to that XP, get the Solar Bind, and then you can start playing the game. But until you have that ult on Coddle, you're just maximizing XP as much as you can because you don't do anything.
And that could have some pretty severe consequences for PARIVISION, because you look at their lineup, right? You got to remember that with the way that the bottom lane's going, it's not just that the 4's not going to be able to do much. You know, the 3, DM's not going to be able to do much for quite some while with the slows of start that he's having. On the other side of the map, you have this carrier Abaddon. This hero is not going to do much for a long time.
Yep.
So then you're kind of just looking at the mid and the 5 to be the ones to have that impact. It's not going to be easy when they're going to be having to make moves into an OG lineup that all 3 cores are going to be absolutely smashing their timings with the way this early game's going. Top lane, we'll see the rotation coming in from Natsumi. So look towards Satanic. Ducalis will be able to hold them back here with the kinetic field. Still though, OG trying to move on. This is pretty deep now. And only further ways to grab Satanic, so Satanic will be fine. OG, at the least, will look to just focus and putting the pressure onto this tier 1 tower nice and early. Very early move, especially when you consider this was being made at a point where, you know, the Gyro and Natsumi's not even 6. Yeah. That just goes to show sort of how comfortable OG feel off the back of how well the lanes have gone. And they're ready to make these plays even without the need of their ultimates. Inside the jungle, they will still get the chance to find Ducalis out on his own. They're just playing that little bit faster. And I can't help but Phil, that is one of the things that has really made the Abaddon carry look kind of rough in some of the other games, right? If the game starts to speed up, Satanic's not going to be able to do a whole lot to slow it down.
No, he's not. The hero is very slow. All he does is farm Radiance. Maybe he can TP to a fight every once in a while and shield someone, but that's only if there's some massive overdive. This is a great tower, and in the meantime, it's not just that they get the tower, it's they miss so many waves, and now they've unblocked the small camp on OG, so they can potentially do this shenanigans where you keep pulling the hard camp and pulling this top lane back, which is going to leave this Abaddon, who's already low net worth, stuck only being able to farm neutrals. And you mentioned them needing to play through no one. He's gone for the 3 points in shield build, which is the standard build against Tiny, but it doesn't pair very well with Coddle, and it's also not the build we've seen very much recently. It's mostly been that Chains Max that's looked so powerful on the Ember, so will not be as strong as he would be if it was a 4-1-1 build or something similar in this early game.
Let's see if they can find a catch here. They will find Nico on his own.
Okay, he's dead.
So, something here for PARIVISION to do manage to punish Nico, who's in a little bit of a greedy spot out on his own in the jungle. Getting themselves a kill on the board here, PARIVISION.
And that is the trade they take for losing that tower, as Coddle, in the meantime, is farming constantly, and he does get a 6, and now with Solar Bind online, he is very powerful in these skirmishes. Now, the trade-off is his offlaner is completely worthless for quite some time. DM is going to be mode AFK farm until he's got Blink. Natsumi has a free game on the 18-pick Gyrocopter. This is what he felt like was the best hero for the game. He got whatever he wanted. He's also been given a free lane, so Natsumi set up in a great position for the rest of this game.
Absolutely, and we've seen before. Very, very solid Gyro player.
Won't last long.
Given this sort of start, he's going to absolutely nail the itemization. Know exactly where to take the game step by step. It's going to be a problem. PARIVISION definitely going to have their work cut out this game. The way that this first 10 minutes or so has gone down. We'll see TP's coming into the bottom. And they get the chance here for Natsumi. They'll lay down the missile. The cooldown out as well, but it's straight in on top and they go. They get the hand of God. Decent heals onto Natsumi, but not enough to save him. They bring down the Gyro, and now they look for more PARIVISION. Jumping over the board, Scam. Good change for no one. Catches onto the both of them. Scam, he's got back up a Yopaj and doesn't save them though. Scam still goes down. PARIVISION striking back hard. They get the glimpse now on towards Yopaj. They're ready to dive the tower. They'll continue this to look for the Tiny as well, and they'll get him. PARIVISION hitting back absolutely hard there. And my goodness, did they need to. But that was a huge hit, and that's absolutely smashed them back into the game and taken away that early lead that OG built up.
And that's just a misread of the situation from OG. They thought they were invincible there. PARIVISION had no shot of fighting, but that's definitely not the case. Ember Spirit, he may not be super great at diving you under the tower whenever you're already sitting there, but when he can run you down the lane and keep pressing these chains one after another, Disruptor, Coddle, they have so many heroes that are great at chasing you. So if you overextend on OG, you're not in that formation, they will massively take advantage of that. Now no one went from being below all 3 OG cores to above all 3 OG cores with the vessel already completed. He is online in a major way.
Absolutely, he's ready to go. He knows that after sort of the way that these side lanes went down at the start, that a lot rests on him to sort of make these moves, lead the charge here, coming into this stage of the game, and he's ready to take that position.
After the 3 points in shield has gone back to the 4 points in the chains, so him and Coddle, they're ready to go. Their skirmishing is insanely strong. The Holy Locket as well, so he's got a lot of tank ability on top of the damage from these chains. His Ember is no joke.
Yeah, after getting involved in those moves down bottom, very close to having the Blink Dagger. Very, very key move there that needed to come out from PARIVISION. And they were not any second away from missing that opportunity. Straight down there, punishing OG. A little bit of a mistake.
I question this Tiny pick a little bit. We've seen his hero some since the patch. The hero most certainly got buffed, but still has some of these same issues that when the enemy gets tanky, Tiny is such a low damage hero. He relies so much on his other heroes to kill stuff. You're playing against an Abaddon. They picked it into these heroes. Abaddon, Coddle, Ember. Ember was last pick rather, but the Abaddon, Coddle, these are survivability heroes. You're picking a Tiny, a low damage hero into this. It can definitely come back to bite them. You've already got a Chen on your team who's doing 0 damage.
And thoughts and feelings on this. I weren't expecting this. It has happened. Satanic, he wants to get the Midas into the Radiant.
Whoa. Well, I guess he just feels his early game was too slow, that if he buys the Radiance, it's not going to be enough net worth. He needs even more. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I just don't understand how good Midas is. If it was last match, I would say this is straight objectively bad. No way around it. But I don't have a good feel for how good this Midas item is yet. Batten is not a hero that cares about the XP that much. Sure, the stats are nice, but you don't even skill Mistcoil, so it doesn't really matter in that sense. Uh-oh. If it is better GPM, then it's not bad.
Dive in the mid here, PARIVISION to get themselves a pick up on the scam, and they'll be able to push down this tier 1 tower by the looks of it. Definitely feeling that after that sort of turnaround play from PARIVISION down on the bottom lane, things from the OG side of things, they've slowed down majorly. You know, we're not seeing OG trying to get back on the map and do anything aggressive right now. Or they will now, but there was definitely a bit of a slowdown, and that has allowed PARIVISION to get some good objectives back their way.
Definitely has, and this Ember is a problem. They're going to try to kill him here.
See what they've got. A big avalanche toss combo into the fear, into the primal. It's not nearly enough. No one's still able to jump out away from the attempts of these three. Very nice static storm to stop Nico from being able to get the grab off.
There's those damage problems. If you try to skirmish this Ember Coddle right now, good luck. As the chains are getting refreshed, Ember's got infinite mana to spam his spells off cooldown. PARIVISION's got great tools to kite you. OG, they're not in a super good position right now until they get more items. Their ability to fight is just not there.
Meanwhile, no one can continue to try and find opportunities, but he's going to get caught by a bit of a surprise this time in with the combo. That's going to be no one getting tripped up and killed off. He was getting a little bit ahead of himself there. I mean, obviously after the last few plays, I think after the fact that he sort of escaped the effort from OG in the mid lane, he probably started to feel a little bit invincible. Thing is, he wasn't, and now he might have set up some more pain for the rest of the team. We'll see PARIVISION trying to fight back into this, but Natsumi's in position with the flag to take them out. DM and Ducalis eliminated. 9 class and Satanic having to run. And now, Yopaj with the jump forward. He's going to be able to set up even more for his Gyro. Natsumi gets the triple kill. This time, PARIVISION, when they get themselves a little bit of a lead, they get a little too cocky there, Quinn. You have no one going in for a play that he had no chance of getting away with, and it cost his team as a whole big time. OG, they're up to a 4K lead after that trade.
That was a catastrophic mistake. I think he got a little bit cocky because in the last fight he had an illusion rune, which is what saved him.
Yeah.
And so he's sort of playing like, oh, I can't die. Well, buddy, apparently you can. You had an illusion rune last fight, and that was the difference maker. Giving away a massive amount of gold, and you can see the difference in PARIVISION when they're running heroes down, when they're chasing you, compared to when OG is standing in formation. They're abusing the Chen auras, and they're abusing the fact that the Coddle Blast, the Glimpse, none of these spells are doing any damage if you're standing still.
Damn. Really trying to make an effort here to bring down Nico. No one coming over to back him up, but OG's also got backup on the way, and Yopaj, he's in with a combo. Again, excellent toss avalanche to catch up with the two of them. The static storm will come down to stop the pulverize of Nico. Nico on the retreat. Great fear comes in from Tims. Nico, he's going to get dragged back in on it. He's still alive, though. They don't have the damage to finish the primal. Nico's going to be fine. Another toss combo comes in from Yopaj. They bring no one down. PARIVISION, they chased Nico quite far along that lane, really wanting to bring him down. It just took too long, and it gave all the time in the world for OG to turn up. And especially when OG has this sort of lineup, Tiny being played by Yopaj on the mid, he is not going to miss out on any sort of those chances to fight. Turns up, and again, mistakes made by PARIVISION.
They're just overextending. They're getting outplayed, genuinely. These skirmishes by OG, they're playing them better. They're understanding their heroes and their limits better. PARIVISION, they had a great window. They were really strong for a period, but they played it a little bit slow. They got 1 kill on a Chen, maybe. They got the mid tower, but it didn't feel like that overwhelming snowball when I felt like during that period they were unfightable. And now, he's gotten some more items up. The Yule's doing a Tiny. He will not be even near as killable, and they're aiming for a Roche.
I mean, this is great, Roche. Cool. You know, going into the pit now, they know that there's no way the PARIVISION to do anything about this as early as it is. maybe if PARIVISION hadn't made the mistakes they did in those last couple of moves, they would have had some sort of presence to be here as a team. But the way those plays went down, not a chance to stop OG from getting this Roshan, getting this Aegis.
And a big difference in this game so far is Satanic has not joined the game yet, and Natsumi has. So far, it's been 4v5. You picked as a Baden. No, it's a slow hero. We've seen it be slow. When is Satanic going to get involved, and is it going to be enough? Because so far, the game is not looking good for them, and they're missing a hero.
Yeah, it's got to be some sort of crazy turn up when he has got his Radiance done. To, you know, sort of pay off this sort of long duration. It's going to be pretty much 20 minutes of gameplay where you just don't have to carry. Whereas on the other side, you look at Natsumi, he's been having a great time. Last fight down on the bottom side, he turns up, picks up a triple kill, getting involved in the action. And you see on the XP as well from him. It was nearly about, 2 levels ahead of that of the Abaddon.
This Midas, we'll see if it pays off. It's still a very strange pickup as it's 19 minutes, still no Radiance. And even when he gets it, what is that Radiance going to do but let him farm more? He can't fight with a Radiance. He's running into these heroes. Gyrocopter is going to pop his ult in 0.1 seconds.
We'll see. We'll see if this approach from PARIVISION works. I think at the moment, OG are going to be feeling very confident with how things have been going their way. Very much, for the most part, and into the trees. Now find themselves, catch on to 9 class. Try and run. Heals come in. Buys time for DM to come in with the crush to try and help out 9 class, but there's no saving him. And now DM's put himself in harm's way. They get the toss back into the avalanche. They're just kind of losing heroes for losing heroes here on PARIVISION. It's not working out, and OG, they're having the last laugh every time.
And that's going to be a free Tormentor too. They're in this spot where they just can't fight, and they know they can't fight, which means they're split up across the map, trying to farm these waves, but OG giving them no room to breathe. That's a huge punish. A couple key kills, and the snowball keeps rolling down the hill. Can they get a grapple off?
Ooh, it's close.
Wow, what a good attempt.
Yeah, good try there with the avalanche, the toss, the Yules. Not quite enough to buy time for Tims to come across, but it does go to show the next time it might be quite enough. So no one has to be careful. OG, 20 minutes in, perfectly safe to move over to the Tormentor, get that shard here for Tims.
And the pressure mounts. Class is going for some of those healing team items, so mirroring Skem's Chen in a way, but it feels like he's a free snack for this Tiny to toss back.
And I've got to say, the tossbacks have been fantastic. I feel like every fight, Yopaj is finding these angles to ensure that he's always getting the setup to get 2 people in the avalanche after the toss.
This is very aggressive for just 2.
The rest are coming over. One's going to try and poke back here. Satanic starting to run down Yopaj. We'll see Nico hold his ground with the pulverize. Will be forced to BKB. Natsumi's coming in with the wraparound from the high ground. So if they can take this fight, OG, this might be the chance for PARIVISION to get something going their way. They'll look to take the Aegis out of the hands of Natsumi. See what they can do here on the second round. Satanic looks straight towards the gyro. Can they bring Natsumi down the second time? Avalanche holds back Satanic. They get the toss back here from Yopaj, trying to keep Natsumi safe, but the glimpse is there. They bring Natsumi back and they bring him down. DM not done with the job yet, ready to chase down Nico. PARIVISION should be able to find another. Can they save Nico here in this situation? OG, they're trying their best. He's going to be able to charge up to the high ground. No one, and Ducalis, they want to keep the chase going. They get the glimpse back. Pulverize is there, doesn't matter. Slide of fish, chains come out. They bring Nico down, and they can still maybe push for more. Satanic's getting very low here. Tims, he's got to beat up on the carry. Satanic will get the shield off. Satanic does still go down at the end of it. But overall, PARIVISION, they're going to be able to get 4 kills here. Only cost them the 1. Sure, it's the big one, but Satanic, he did live throughout the majority of that fight for most of the kills. They'll certainly take that, PARIVISION, being able to slow down OG. And as you sort of said at the start of that, that was kind of on OG's own sort of move, right? They started to sort of poke at the beast, poke at this Abaddon, heading into this high ground. Doesn't go too great for them, Quinn.
No, the way it's executed is just not quite right. They're also 500 gold from Natsumi's BKB at that point. You can see he just gets kited to oblivion by this Ember and Coddle. Doesn't really get to hit much at all. They're just coming from too many different angles. You've got a Chen on your team. You're an aura-based lineup. You want to play together. You need to play around this Gyro as he is the majority of your damage, but they're so split. Nico is forced to use his BKB super early just to survive, then dies later. Just, they got a little too excited. They were ahead. The momentum was in their favor. Much like no one did earlier, bite up a bit more than they can chew and throw that lead back the other way.
Yeah. PARIVISION, after that move, they are more than ready to start looking. More action. Satanic very ready to join the fight here. They're going to get the jump in straight away over towards Natsumi. Static's gone down as well. They'll turn to try and kill him.
BKB's online now.
Artis will fall. Natsumi ready to try and stand his ground with the BKB. The borrowed time's already gone off it from Satanic. Comes to an end. The pulverize is there. They'll kill Satanic off. And just like that, when we have sort of OG making an overextension, getting ahead of themselves, immediately after, it's sort of PARIVISION doing it same the other way around.
These teams have got to be careful. They have to understand the way their heroes fight. They're not these go full crazy mode and dive the enemy under the base. It's not how these lineups work. But they are. It seems like whichever team gets ahead is going to throw. So for OG fans, you better watch out because it's coming.
This game, the back and forth is kicking off, an entertaining one for sure. Been a more so a stressful one for the players involved. The way that these moves are going, or most of the cases not going. Be careful. Overall, of course, through the chaos of it all, OG still remain ahead. Natsumi, throughout it all, just continuing to be just that much further ahead of anyone in the game. Obviously with his Midas and Radiance cooking on Satanic, you've got to imagine that he should start to close a little bit of that gap, but no, maybe not. Natsumi, he does have the tendency to just farm that fast on his Gyrocopter. He's very hard to keep up with.
Absolutely, and he's close to the Daedalus too. He most certainly will be a force to be reckoned with this game, and it's a great Satanic game too. So many things on PARIVISION that can be dispelled. So many things that it can deal with through itemization. This doesn't look like one of those Gyro games where they have this hyper turret carry who's going to eat him alive at some point in the game. A TV, a Drow, Morphling, these classic counters to Gyrocopter. They don't have that. PARIVISION's lineup to do damage, they all need to run in right next to him. He'll have free Satanic targets, and that combined with the Daedalus and whatever else he wants after that, he can itemize very easily to deal with PARIVISION's heroes.
He can. To the point where I feel like that the big timing, PARIVISION would have a potential answer against the Gyro. You're actually probably looking at the Blink Axe timing on the Disruptor, right? Because that's when you have that something that could be thrown down at the start, trapping the Gyro, and actually allow you to kill him off without getting these Satanic big heals off for the turnaround.
That is true.
But it's a long way away.
It is a very long way away. He doesn't have the Blink online yet.
Yeah.
He's going for that first, so that's 30 minutes away, probably, unless they win a big fight. That Disruptor also stays alive for, which might be unlikely.
Let's see what they want to go for next. Roshan, how long are we going to get on the respawn time? It's a short respawn.
It's really short.
Definitely will look very appealing for OG to hold back and go for, but would not put it past PARIVISION at this point to definitely do their best to turn up and contest. Standing very close to having the Manta done on top of his Radiance and Midas. Mid lane pressure's coming in. OG trying to push back PARIVISION as much as they can, so they do have that additional space for them to sort of set up Vision and set up for that Roshan.
He's going to get his BKB forced, maybe. He might die.
He's just got a lot of control. What? Gonna get with the pulverize to get him.
Did he not have a Remnant out?
Let's have a look.
Maybe it just timed out?
No, I don't think he did have a Remnant out, right?
It could have just timed out when they went on him.
We might be able to get that on the replay if we would have clicked on him. But yeah, he couldn't get out of there.
I mean, he could have just pressed the BKB. He did.
So he does, right?
He just... Wait, what happened? Wait, it went away. What happened?
You pressed it like during the slight and then...
No, but you quit there when you press it during the slide. I don't know what happened.
He pressed it and then pressed the slide. So he was jumping away and then slighted to stay away. You slight when you're remnanting.
Yes.
I think he did that. I think he slighted himself out of the remnant jump.
I think
That works like that?
I can't remember.
Oh, Quinn. You're the expert.
I do have 2,000 memory games. I should know this.
Can you interrupt being flying around remnant to remnant with a slight?
Yeah, I think you can.
I think you can, right? I think that's what
that
it
must
did.
have been what happened.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah. Back in the action. They've got the hands on Satanic. And now Natsumi ready to go with the BKB. The backlines are just getting destroyed. Both supports dead on PARIVISION. Try and turn out towards Natsumi, but can they bring this Gyro down? Satanic's going to be able to stay on top of him. Chase forward from no one. And no one, he's getting just completely zoned by Tims and Yopag. The avalanche comes in again, and Satanic, he's dead. Tiam will try to but they just both die. Everybody's dying on PARIVISION. Dekalis, he's going to be dead as well. OG get the team wipe.
OG magic right there. Flower power. Daffodils. I don't know what kind of flower is against something.
Yeah,
But my goodness.
PARIVISION getting shaken up. And that's going to be an easy roast for OG.
Really is in this Gyrocopter. He's going to have this Satanic up that fight. This Abaddon hero looks terrible.
I guess that's what I'm telling you. I feel, especially in the hands of like a player such as Satanic, he could do so much. It just feels like a hero that when you give him it, he doesn't get to do anything for 20 minutes. Do you really want your kind of, it's one of the best carries in the world to do nothing for 20 minutes of gameplay? I don't know if you do.
I totally agree. I think it's so weird. He farmed the entire game, and in all these fights, his ult get pops like this completely instantly, and for the rest of the fight, this Gyrocopter is just shredding him. Why did you pick this for? This looked so bad in these games. Now OG in a dominant position.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. PARIVISION, it just feels like what they turned up with today is, it's not surprising. It's it's kind of like an autopilot draft from them. You know, it's PARIVISION. They like to do this, and we've seen them do it at other game ones. It hasn't worked out. They come back always harder in the game 2 and the game 3. And just today in this game 1, the strategy just falls flat against sort of OG's playstyle. Can't help but feel OG ruling the map. Sure, OG's made a couple of mistakes this game, but PARIVISION, they've also, and each time the mistakes that PARIVISION make get punished so much more by OG because of the nature of the draft and their comfort of playing it. Whereas OG's mistakes never really got punished that hard by PARIVISION. And when PARIVISION did try and punish them, they just only ended up making a mistake after it and feeding some of the kills back to OG. And now OG with this sort of lead, I don't know how you stop Natsumi from closing this game up. This Gyro is on top of the world right now. Satanic is round the corner for him. It's going to be coming out during this Aegis time. So they're going to have this Aegis online for 4 minutes. Satanic done on the Gyrocopter. These are going to be some nasty pushes that PARIVISION is going to have to try and stop.
World's their oyster. They can do whatever they want on this map. Hunt heroes, go for the high ground, keep farming it up. They have Decision Paralysis. They've got so many good options. PARIVISION can hear the machete being sharpened in the background. They need to shape up.
Can they turn this around? Getting definitely into the territory of if this one does become some sort of a comeback for PARIVISION, it is going to be it's impressive and a spicy. How we're doing on the optimizations. So Satanic done, Natsumi. Over on the side of Satanic's Abaddon, he's trying to get the Basher done next after the Manta. Of course, as we're seeing these items just coming out so much slower than that of the Gyro. And, you know, still obviously, on top of the fact that there's a huge net worth lead of the Gyrocopter, you've got to remember, like, what, 2K of that net worth of the Abaddon is sat inside of a Midas. So when you sort of take that into account, just the potential of this farm Gyro in the fights just completely destroys what the Abaddon's able to bring to the action.
This is also your counter pick, right? You saw the Primal Beast. You know where it's going. Miko's the only one who's played this hero for OG, as far as I can remember. And you lost the lane straight up, and then you got ganked afterwards. And since then, that's been all she wrote. Thoughts exactly.
Is about to flounder.
KB on Yopaj. I would imagine they are very set and ready to start looking at the high ground. PARIVISION. Oh. A little bit of a pause. Reason. Okay, we got a reason. I like that.
Mike.
Hey, respect to OG.
Thank you.
I ask for reason sometimes we don't always get it. We got it immediately though from Tim's time. That's fine. And it was fixed very quickly.
It was.
We're back in.
We respect that.
That's my kind of pause.
Amen. Up they go.
got to do something. Yopatch, he's going to be the one to do something. Oh, but that's just no one getting caught at the start of the fight. He's dead. Yopatch finding the setup. I mean, they can continue to push forward here, OG. Satanic's trying to get in on the action, but his borrow time is being used very early, and it's about to end. So now Natsumi can turn straight towards the Abaddon. Satanic has to hold back. The tier 3's gone. No one he brought back for this Yopatch. In the daylight, tries to harvest. They all have to just run back to the fountain. The tower's gone. The Rex are getting destroyed here. And OG, I don't think they're going to be going anywhere. They still have a minute and a half left on the Aegis. There's no disruptor up for 30 seconds on PARIVISION. I don't think they've got what it takes at this point, Quinn, to turn this one around. This looks like OG being able to pretty confidently close this game one off. Yopatch, he's in again. Another toss back here on towards the goal. 9 glass out of the game.
These flaks, this is killing a whole team.
And they're just cleaning up the second set of racks here in the mid. Nico ready to make the jump here on towards no one. Another buyback comes out from PARIVISION, 9 class this time. And Natsumi, still full HP. Keeping the arms coming out as well. He's very close to being able to send the butterfly out for himself. DeCarlis, dead again. He's out for 45. No buyback on him. Timms will get jumped. But he dodges the blast with the Yules. Still alive for the second blast. Will get him. So they'll bring down Timms. But Satanic, he's in trouble. He's blown up out of the game. No buyback on him. It is over. GG is called. OG. They kind of destroyed them there in that game one, Quinn.
Man, they just got cooked. OG, they just looked better. That was great play from them. It felt like they had the killer instinct if PARIVISION didn't. When PARIVISION made these moves, it was messy, it was mis-executed, they're feeding kills. When OG was making moves this game, it was decisive, it was dominant, and